Luxury house in San Francisco's best neighborhood is selling for half price off. I mean, you can't even get a monitor at Amazon for half price off, but apparently you could get a luxury mansion for half price off, but only in the Bay Area. Listed for $20 million and recently sold for just $10 million bucks last month. It's on Zillow. You could check it out yourself. And the address is also included. It's a pretty luxurious unit, and I don't have anything bad to say about it, right? I mean, look at this building here. You got like 2 windows and 4 floors, a garage, a very nice entrance, and there's even like another entrance with a staircase going up to like the 2nd or 3rd floor. Like overall, this is a fantastic looking unit, sandwiched in Russian Hill, San Francisco, one of the best neighborhoods, okay? This is actually one of the few neighborhoods that don't have a bunch of tents, that don't have a bunch of drug use, but I mean, that kind of stuff is already slowly moving up there. Now, what made the seller do a 50% price cut? Well, it's been on the market since 2020. So almost 3 years on the market, it finally gets sold, listed for $20 million, now it's sold for $10 million. And this is not a bad unit. Like, you get a garage, you can obviously tell that the exterior was renovated, nice little bushes here and there, and I'm sure the interiors look absolutely wonderful. I mean, look at this, right? The little balconies, the architecture, and the insides, I'm sure, are ultra modern. So why did it sell for half price off? Because this is a drastic decrease. I mean, $20 million listed for a unit of this caliber really isn't that bad. I mean, during the peak of San Francisco real estate, especially before the pandemic, $20 million, it would have easily been sold for like $18 or $19 million. There were a lot of billionaires, a lot of multimillionaires who are buying property in San Francisco. But now, people just don't want to buy, right? The amount of rich people that are leaving San Francisco is in the tens of thousands. The 148,000 residents who left San Francisco pretty much were making $22.7 billion for an average annual income of $153,000. Now, obviously, there's some outliers here and there. There's people who are moving out that are only making 30, 40, 50,000, and there are people who are moving out who are literally making billions of dollars. So the centimillionaires who are worth $100 million and above no longer want to buy property like this. In fact, if you look at where luxury real estate is being purchased, it's actually being purchased in places like Texas, places like South Florida, even Nevada is getting pretty popular, and especially Manhattan. As bad as New York City is getting recently with the shoplifting and the crime, Manhattan real estate is still heavily sought after by wealthy individuals around the world, not just in the US. But San Francisco is a whole different beast, especially if you check out some of the videos of San Francisco, it just doesn't look that great. Not to mention, even regular units for everyday people in decent areas are selling for $399,000. I mean, at this point, people are joking that even folks from Phoenix will probably be migrating to San Francisco just for some affordability. This is some really wild stuff. You would not see this sort of price cut in other cities. I mean, this is 800 square feet, 2 bed, 2 bath, and one of the biggest tech capitals in the world, and you're telling me it's selling for a measly $400K? I could make a whole different video about this. This is a pretty extreme example. But it's actually on the market like this, and I'm sure somebody's going to buy it because it's so dirt cheap. I can't stress enough how low this price is for the Bay Area. And Wells Fargo is also kind of done with San Francisco. They are selling the San Francisco office tower at a whopping $60 million loss. They originally listed this building for $180 million, but they bought it 2 decades ago for $100 million, and they sold it for a $60 million loss. Even Wells Fargo is noticing that their properties are being more and more worthless by the day. And what's even worse, it's not just Wells Fargo taking a bunch of L's, but also the owners of the famous 201 Spear Street. This is a very nice condo, guys. But here's the thing. This building, it can't be sold, right? They've been on the market for a very long time, and finally it got sold for 50% off. And right next door, you got the famous Stewart condos recently built. These are by far one of the most expensive condos in all of the West Coast. 1 bedrooms easily go for $2 million. Some of the 2 bedrooms go for $4 million. So you get the idea. This is like a very high caliber building, luxurious. And right next door, this tower sells for 50% off. Obviously, it doesn't look great for this building, So yeah, a lot of units are also on the market. Luxury real estate in San Francisco is just taking L's on L's on L's. This is a nice building, but nobody's buying it. And they're already offering discounts up to $1 to $2 million if you buy one of the units. And still, people are refusing to buy. Even apartment buildings can't survive, right? We're not even talking about the ultra luxury, the ultra rich. We're just going to be talking about a 754 unit multifamily skyscraper, the NEMA building in San Francisco. The location is pretty fantastic, right next door to X, or formerly known as Twitter. And $384 million loan, they may default on that massive loan simply because they don't have enough tenants. Like I said, the majority of the wealthy San Francisco guys, like the software engineers, the executives, the tech CEOs, are all leaving. When you have 150,000 residents who leave, who on average make about $153,000, those are the clientele for the NEMA building. But the NEMA building isn't getting any people renting it, and that's why they're going to the foreclosure route. And also, there's local buyers that are setting a new floor for the market. They're like, you could sell us this building, but we want 75% off. And a lot of sellers do say yes to this, which is insanity. I've seen whole buildings originally listed for $300 million sells for like $80 million. That is a dirt cheap price for a massive skyscraper in one of the biggest tech cities in the world. Now, one of the reasons why is it's just not great to live in San Francisco. The crime rate is off the charts, right? Right next door, you got Oakland, the city who has the highest amount of car theft. That is not something to be proud of. And then you also have very affluent, very rich and wealthy neighborhoods now being reduced to pennies on the dollar. Buildings like these rarely come on the market. If you go to Manhattan and you look at these luxury townhouses in like the Upper East Side or the Upper West Side, like a building like this with the garage, 4 stories, they don't sell for $10 million. They sell for like 30 to 40 million bucks, especially in good locations. So I'm pretty shocked to see this building being sold for 50% off. And what I'm even more shocked is somebody is actually willing to shell out $10 million for a building like this, which is pretty crazy here. It's a very nice home, has a dramatic helix staircase, medium room, wine cellar, and an elevator. In fact, it was appraised for more than $21 million, even higher. And look at this, back in 2007, the previous owner did pay for $2.7 million, which is a pretty cheap price for such a big apartment, or I guess like townhouse, 4 stories. That was like during the '08 crisis, so a bunch of people are defaulting on loans. But this is kind of like the '08 crisis all over again. When you have a building listed for 20 mil, now sells for 10, and maybe in the next couple of years it sells for $6 or $5 million. I think prices are dropping like a rock in many of America's finest cities. Even places like Austin, which is known for a massive inflow of rich people and tech engineers and workers. Too much building, too much supply of houses. Austin home prices from the top to bottom in the past 12 months drops over 10%. And these massive price drops are continuing. They're all not stopping. And get ready. We could be seeing more of these crazy deals. These are some of the cheapest prices I've ever seen. They're selling condos for less than $400K. That's something that's unheard of in the Bay Area. So thanks for watching, guys. Comment below, subscribe for more.